All right. So thank you everybody for joining this dual webinar with Mosaic and OpenSolar. So we really wanted to make sure that we're giving our mutual partners all the tools that they need, not only to succeed and scale and grow overall ongoing, but specifically in the California market that's ever changing as we transition into NEM 3.0. So just quick introductions from us. I'm Mark Matos. I co-manage the US for OpenSolar. Have about 11 years of experience in the solar industry and really excited about the opportunities that exist here in California coming up, but also just nationwide.
Everyone, Chris Takahashi with the OpenSolar team here. I help assist Mark with some of our new business development and am on the support team here. So Pro Experience team is supporting you as a solar professional, and happy to join us here for the NEM 3 webinar with Mosaic.
Hey everyone, I'm Orion Wilkinson with Mosaic. I'm the Senior Manager of Business Development over here at Mosaic. So I help work with our partners as well as our strategic partners and our SaaS platforms or software partners like OpenSolar. We'll go through the presentation today, talk about the software, our integration, and then also some of our loan features and products.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Orion. Yeah, so just to segue more into the agenda here, do a quick little OpenSolar overview. For those that have not seen OpenSolar, pay attention to the links at the end of the presentation to request a demo so that you can, but just a quick little overview. Then we'll talk about NEM 2.0 and NEM 3.0, what the opportunity is, how OpenSolar has created functionality for you to very easily communicate to the homeowners how NEM 2.0 will work versus NEM 3.0 and be able to compare both policies. Then Orion will take over and look at how to win with Mosaic and go over Mosaic details. And Chris here will then jump into a live demo of OpenSolar and how we can select the NEM 3.0. And to my knowledge, nobody has really released a feature enhancement that will allow for this ease of comparison. So I'm really excited about it because, like I said, big opportunity here. So OpenSolar overview. So world's leading end-to-end digital design, sales, and management software. So OpenSolar US is a big part of our business. We also have OpenSolar Australia, OpenSolar Europe, and OpenSolar UK. So we are globally the largest design and proposal software. As many of you know, and if you don't, we will soon find out, we are free of charge to the end user. We have a dynamic business model that allows us to monetize and scale in different ways than our competitors. And, like we say, we're free of charge, so you're free to grow. Built by solar professionals, for solar professionals. So a lot of us have combined over a decade of experience in solar. Andrew Birch and Adam Pryor, our founders, are often attributed to building the very first remote solar design tool back in early Sungevity days. If many of you have been in the industry, perhaps you remember that name. So it really changed the way that we're able to sell solar, doing it remotely in virtual sales. So we're going to just jump into a quick poll. Curious, are you prepared to handle changes coming with NEM 3.0? Absolutely, not yet, but getting there. I need help preparing. So again, that's the intent of this webinar, is really to give you all the tools that you need so that you can feel confident about the opportunity there is right now with the urgency to lock in NEM 2.0, but also the opportunity that exists going forward. Cool. So across the board, looks like, there's some that are absolutely prepared, some of you that are getting there, and some of you that need help. So again, let us know if you need assistance with the design proposal tool. That's what you're joining this call for. So curious how everyone's going to feel afterwards. All right. So what's changed? Net metering 2.0, as we all know it, excess energy exported back to the grid, customer receives credit, closer to a retail value. We all know how that works. Higher monthly savings on a 10 kilowatt system and a shorter payback. So net 3.0, we're going to a net billing policy where the excess energy exports are going to be metered and credited back at closer to a wholesale rate. So the opportunity here is extremely strategic. There's going to be a variety of different objectives in what you're pitching the homeowner. So I won't get too much into that, but western, southern roofs, depending on their energy patterns, depending on if they want a storage, a battery. So there's a lot. And as a salesperson, I get really excited about the ways that we can pitch different types of opportunities to homeowners going forward. And of course, they'll experience lower monthly savings. Long-term savings will still show, but it's going to be incredibly important to model these systems properly, both in size and with energy, with specific battery modeling schemes. And then, of course, a longer payback period with NEM 3.0. So the opportunity, as I've touched on a little bit, so increasing battery attachments. So one of the things about OpenSolar is we launched in Australia several years ago, and Australia is an extremely mature market for solar. So they have had the biggest retrofit market in the world, which essentially means existing panels, you add a battery. So OpenSolar has been built for a while now to really support that type of retrofitting. So we'll be able to create custom schemes and batteries so that you can model both economically, but also to show the homeowner how to best use, consume, store, discharge energy with their new solar system. So I talked about, the opportunity of different ways to position solar, and really good salespeople aren't just selling savings, right? They're selling resiliency against raising rates from the utility. They're selling resiliency, especially here in California with the rolling blackouts that are completely unplanned and we don't have any control. So you're gaining control back. So that is a crucial piece in NEM 3.0 and how we want to position solar going forward, as I'm sure many of you sales folks out there are well aware of. And then another opportunity in selling finance systems. We might be seeing a lot larger ticket items with battery attachments. So getting familiar with finance and really nailing down your process and efficiency with selling finance. And Mosaic does a tremendous job at doing that. So again, to kind of recap here, so with OpenSolar, we have integrated finance, customizable proposals where we can help make your proposal look and feel as your own. Battery modeling we talked about. We're constantly updating rates and product updates within our database. And as Chris will show you here in a few minutes, we can both model NEM 2.0 and NEM 3.0. So this is the piece where I talk about efficiency. So this is the sales process. So 37 seconds is the average time that it takes to get a credit decision from when your homeowner opens up the credit application. So that is saving a tremendous amount of time, and it's incredibly efficient to have it all in one portal. I'm sure you all have used finance, integrated finance options, but with OpenSolar, we've really built out an in-depth integration where there's a lot of elements to it that make your life easier. With the rate changes that we've been seeing based on the current environment with interest rates, we were able to build something that made it incredibly easy for our mutual pros to seamlessly transition and not lose business, and also be able to still effectively pitch homeowners on the new rates or new payment options. So we're seeing about a total of 10 hours saved for every 30 deals sold. And never mind, the end-to-end solar project, because this is the sales process. So fulfillment operations, when things are being dialed in and tracked within OpenSolar and Mosaic, it leads to tremendous efficiency gains. So Alan here from Vibe Solar. So selling with integrated finance on OpenSolar is just easier. My team is saving an average of 30 minutes on every job, all while making it easier to close deals with customers. And, that's just one of our mutual pros that says that, but, across the board, when people make the transition to using integrated finance, then it is a great efficiency gain for their teams. All right.
Thanks, Mark. So I'll be covering just some best practices selling in a NEM 3.0 environment first. Then we'll talk about some of our loan programs and also some of our credit policies. And then we'll toss it over to Chris for a live demo. So to start, when we're talking about selling in a NEM 3.0 environment, really the key is to become an expert. So you want to be the solar expert for your clients. And this starts with understanding export rates and export adders. And Chris, go ahead. There we go. And so export rates are essentially how much the homeowner will be able to recuperate when selling excess energy back to the grid. These rates are going to be calculated using the avoided cost calculator, which attempts to estimate the value of solar generation by modeling the utility's avoided cost of not generating a megawatt hour of energy during that same time. So export rates are going to vary based on a number of factors, including location, time of year, and even time of day. So definitely a lot that goes into export rates. You'll want to get familiar with these and be as knowledgeable as possible when presenting presentations and sales pitches to homeowners. Some utilities are also going to offer what's called an export adder, which is an additional kind of adder or additional compensation on top of the export rate. These adders will be available for the first 5 years of NEM 3.0 and will be reduced by 20% per year until the end of that 5-year period. Export adders are kind of intended to soften the blow, if you will, of the steep export rate reduction that we're seeing with NEM 3.0. Export rates will be locked in for 9 years, and the value of the locked-in export rates the customer receives for the first 5 years will be based on the year in which they start participating in the NEM 3.0 program. So I know that's a little bit of a confusing concept. So for example, homeowners who start participating in the second year of the program will receive an export rate adder that's 20% less than the export rate adder for those who start participating in the first year of the program. So really study export rates and export rate adders so you can confidently speak about these things and how they'll impact what the homeowner will receive when sending energy back to the grid. You can use calsa.org. That's going to be a great resource for you when it comes to everything about export rates and export rate adders. They'll also have the avoided cost calculator for you on there so you can play around with that, see how the calculations actually work. This will really set up, kind of a good conversation for you, show that you're a knowledgeable resource for one, and then also set up a conversation about overall system value versus just selling on monthly payment alone. The next tip for you is to really understand your client's needs. So understand their energy consumption and also their budget. So really take a consultative approach to your sales pitch so you can understand what makes sense for the clients, what their goals are for the purchase, so that you can put together options that are really going to make sense with them and resonate with that client. Energy consumption may look a lot different for someone who works long hours. Maybe they're in the office all day. They're only home during peak energy hours in the evening. Maybe a battery makes more sense or is more attractive for that homeowner versus an elderly couple who's retired. Maybe they can take advantage of, off-peak hours during the day to run large appliances, things like that. So just understanding your clients, what they're looking for, and what their budget looks like can really make a more compelling sales pitch. And then the last thing is just to understand what financing options are available in the market today. And we'll cover that in the next slide, just talk about our top three most popular loan products that are available today. All right, so we'll start off with PowerSwitch Choice. It's going to be our most popular loan product, kind of our standard solar loan. It's designed around the investment tax credit. So it's really for homeowners who want to go solar or solar and battery and have the choice to take advantage of that ITC credit. This loan is going to be structured around that ITC. So the initial monthly payments are going to be attractive for the first 18 months. And then it's intended that in that 18-month period, the homeowner will receive their tax credit and put it back towards the balance of their loan. If they do this, they'd see their monthly payments stay exactly the same for the life of the loan. We also have PowerSwitch Plus. This this loan is really designed for someone that wants to go solar plus other home improvements or energy efficient upgrades. You can bundle things that may not be ITC eligible in this loan together with the solar system or with solar and battery. So it's really a great option if someone's looking to add additional home improvements, things like an HVAC, maybe a full re-roof, windows and doors, any energy efficient upgrades that may not be ITC eligible can be bundled in this loan together with a solar loan. And last but not least, we have PowerSwitch Zero. This product is becoming more and more popular in the high rate environment that we're in right now. It's really for homeowners who want to go solar or solar plus battery and have zero monthly payments during the initial 12 or 18 month promotional period. During that 12 or 18 months, there's going to be zero payments due. At the end of that promo period, the loan will roll over into a standard term loan, providing consistent monthly payments for the remainder of the life of the loan after that. So we talked about our loan products. Now I want to talk about our credit policy or how folks actually qualify for those products. And you can see some of the highlights here on the screen. So the two at the top, you're going to see a 620 FICO floor with no dealer fee added. So anyone with a 620 or above can qualify with Mosaic. And folks that are, maybe subprime, maybe below that 640 mark, you're not going to see additional dealer fees charged. You're not going to see a change in interest rate. It's going to be the same regardless of credit quality. So dealer fees and interest rates will stay consistent regardless of the borrower's credit quality. You'll also see that we have a max loan amount of $135,000. So this should give you the flexibility to finance most systems as well as include batteries or other upgrades and stay within that $135,000 max. You'll see here also we have a soft credit check. So all of our pre-qualifications are going to be based on a soft credit check up front. This will allow you and the homeowner to know exactly what they qualify for without actually impacting their credit score. If they do decide to move forward with the project, they sign a loan agreement, we actually fund that loan. At that point, they would see a hard pull from Mosaic, but everything up front, the entire pre-qualification, all the estimates up front are based on a soft credit check. We have a very low stip rate with fast resolution. So as you can see here on the screen, less than 5% of our applications actually have a stip at all. And then 90% of those stips are reviewed in less than 10 minutes by a human underwriter. We allow for loans on non-primary residences. So it doesn't have to be the borrower's primary residence. We can also finance projects on second homes, investment properties, or a rental property, as long as the borrower is on the title or the deed of the property. We allow for household income, combined household income, to be used as qualifying income when submitting credit applications. So you can take the combined household income, use that to qualify, offsetting any debts that may show up when the application is run. Something that's also pretty unique to Mosaic is we don't actually evaluate DTI as part of our credit decisioning. We view solar as a bill replacement versus an additional liability, so DTI is not evaluated as part of our credit decisions. And then last but not least, property values can boost approvals. So we use what we call a Mosaic score using historical data and some analytics on our end to help folks that may not qualify based on FICO alone still qualify for a clean energy loan. Now we've talked about our products and we've talked about our credit guidelines. Next, I want to talk about how to win deals in a high interest rate environment. So as we've seen over the last couple of years, interest rates have continued to climb. That's affected, really kind of all sectors throughout the economy, solar lending included. So at this point, we are seeing higher interest rates than we've seen, in the last few years, and higher interest rates overall. So really, the first tip I have for you is to kind of relates back to what we said earlier about understanding your client's needs and budget. Some homeowners will always want the lowest monthly payment possible. And to achieve that, we have, PowerSwitch Zero, which does offer zero monthly payments for that initial 12 or 18 month period. You can also show your homeowners different options, so various choice monthly payment options. You can actually model this directly on OpenSolar, show them dynamic live updates of what payments would look like. You can show various terms, 20 versus 25 years, higher or lower interest rates to show them how that would impact their payments. Some borrowers will be open to having a discussion about total value and total savings rather than focusing on just monthly payment alone. And so when you shift that conversation to really focus on the system as an investment you start talking about savings over 5 years or 10 years, 25 years, the savings over the life of the loan, it can be a more impactful conversation for some borrowers. When you have that conversation where you're saying, hey, over a 25 years time span, you're looking at a savings of, thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars. That can be a very compelling sales pitch. And then last thing on here is just to sell resiliency. Like Mark mentioned earlier, this is resiliency not only against the rolling blackouts or power outages that you see in California, but it's also resiliency against rising energy rates. Utility rates have continued to increase year over year. And by going solar or going solar and battery, it's a way to have energy independence and also have a fixed cost for your energy over the life of that loan. Since batteries are a hot topic and we anticipate that battery demand will go up considerably with NEM 3.0, I just wanted to touch on some benefits of adding a battery to the system. We'll run through this quickly so we still have enough time for our demo. So like I said, we do anticipate that increased demand for batteries will happen with NEM 3.0. So a few benefits of having a battery. One is going to be capturing more energy from your system, helps maximize savings. So having a battery allows homeowners to use the power they generate during the day, in the evening during peak hours when import rates are going to be the highest. This allows them to avoid peak pricing and in some instances even push energy back to the grid when export rates are higher. The other thing on here, we already talked about selling resiliency. So kind of really doubling down when you add a battery. It's a great way to be more energy independent and to add resiliency. And then one more thing to note as we move into the NEM 3.0 world, homeowners who currently have a solar system won't be transitioned to NEM 3.0 if they add a battery after the April 13th deadline. So they'll actually be grandfathered into NEM 2.0 if they have an existing system and they just add a battery to it. One other thing to note too, as we move into the summer selling season, there is an additional incentive that should be coming out in July. The Self-Generation Incentive Program, or SGIP, should be available, like I said, in July. It provides battery storage rebates for most customers in California. So definitely something to get familiar with as we move into the summer selling season. And then last but not least, I did want to touch on some of our guidelines for battery-only financing. We do allow for battery-only deals with a few minor changes, the main things being max loan amount and max loan term. So for both PowerSwitch Choice and for PowerSwitch Plus, the max loan amount is going to be $55,000 for battery-only projects, and then the max loan term is going to be 10 years. Well, Chris, you want to go ahead and hit it 2 times for me? There we go. And 2. So you can see here, PowerSwitch Choice and PowerSwitch Plus going to be the same guidelines, max of 10-year term and a max of $55,000 for battery only. For PowerSwitch Zero, the max loan amount is going to be $30,000 for battery only projects, and again, a 10-year maximum term. So just a few differences between our battery only guidelines versus our standard solar guidelines. And with that, we'll go ahead and pass it over to Chris for the live demo.
Awesome. Thanks, Ryan. All right, we're going to jump into a demo project here. 1 second. Oh. Cool. So I'm going to take the liberty of jumping into a project we've already created. So bear with me as I just reset this. So if you're not familiar with OpenSolar, definitely feel free to connect with our team. We'll share some links afterwards for how you can, create an account, do some onboarding, get your team trained up here. I am in the energy section of this project, so I want to highlight and touch on further what Orion has mentioned about knowing your energy, knowing the energy consumption patterns of your customer. That's really going to be key for knowing if, certain time of use rates are ideal, if storage is necessary, right? If it's a homeowner that is mostly home during the day, they're cutting lights off and not using appliances in the evening, maybe a retired couple fits that profile, storage may not make sense in that situation. However, for a lot of folks, storage is really going to be that key input needed for better long-term savings. So for energy inputs here within OpenSolar, you can always capture that data through various methods, monthly consumption, monthly bill numbers, a summed up annual amount. Just to make it easy, I've typed in a number summed up for the year. But I want to point out those customer profiles that we've mentioned here. So what we can do in OpenSolar here is do a really good estimate of what a 24-hour load profile looks like for both weekdays and weekends. And you can scale weekend relative to the weekday as well. So what we've got here from this dropdown are different profile types. I'll share a resource here afterwards with everyone to see what that graph looks like, but our default is evening peak. That's going to, have kind of the classic, folks coming home from work in the evening, turning on more appliances, running more power, increasing that load. And this is where it's going to interact with that higher time of use rates under NEM 3. And coupled with the much lower export rates, a drastic slash of, 75% on average, maybe for the export rates, this will definitely mean, NEM 3 is going to impact their solar financials. So we have all these different profiles you can choose from. In addition to that, you could also connect with us in our partner utility API for interval data. So another layer of precision, we can import that into your project and really just dial in the financials. Down here below the curve, you can see what the consumption will look like month over month. Again, any load profile that you change here for the customer profile would be on a daily basis for each month here. Interval data would be even more precise. And then very, very much at the last but not least here at the very bottom is where you would choose the tariff. With our NEM 3, NEM 2.0 comparison, you first, at least the next couple of months, right, people are going to be focusing on the urgency play of NEM 2.0. So all the tariffs here are ready to go for NEM 2.0 and 3.0, but you just want to find the tariff here and select it for your region and customer. And the mechanics of toggling between NEM 2.0 and NEM 3.0 are actually done in the design mode of OpenSolar. So let's navigate over there and take a look at this project. So we're going to have here just a quick point out about the OpenSolar modeling. We've got 3D modeling when the imagery is available. This is the most accurate and fastest design version of OpenSolar. So think automatic pitch. It's, to scale the site. Our shading is done automatically for production calculations. It really is the most sophisticated way to design out there. We've got 4 different designs, a handful of Mosaic products on each design here as well. So it's taking a little bit of bandwidth here to load for us. It should just pop up in a second here. Okay, there we go. Cool. So we've got our 3D model here on the home. If I pan around the site, you can see it is fully rendered. We've got the slope picked up automatically. We can see all the shade obstructions with, trees on the property. All of this would cast shading onto the site. If I do highlight that array here and find my shading drop down, if you haven't seen this before, it's quite a powerful tool to see what that shade impact looks like over the course of the year, hour by hour, month by month here. In addition to our 3D design, we can also model in 2D. We can do a manual mode where you can reconstruct 3D if there's no imagery present. We can basically capture any kind of use case for new home construction, blueprints, drone images. Really, the sky's the limit there. But back to what we're here talking about, which is NEM 2.0 versus NEM 3.0, how you can model it in OpenSolar effectively. So to start here, I've got my first design on the project. It's solar only. In order to show how I can take that NEM 2.0 rate on this design and do a NEM 3.0, NEM 2.0 comparison, I basically will just duplicate my systems. So really easy in OpenSolar. I've built out my first design, all of the hardware, my pricing, my Mosaic payment options have been set. And then I'll navigate down to the Add New System button. I'll click this, and then I'll hover over Duplicate System. And then I'm given the option to duplicate the system with the NEM 3 utility rate. So super easy. You just build out your systems that you want to design, compare and contrast, duplicate with NEM 3. And I've done that here twice with a solar only design and the counterpart in NEM 3, and a solar and storage with the counterpart in NEM 3 as well. That way we can see really those increased lifetime savings with storage entering the picture. And also, an A/B comparison test of solar only, in a NEM 2, NEM 0.3 world. So really easy. Again, just to recap that, you build out your design, click Add New System, duplicate. You can then toggle on a carbon copy of that design with NEM 3. You can also go back and forth back to NEM 2 if you want to here. So let's jump over to the online proposal. And I didn't mention it right there, but we've got a bunch of different battery modeling schemes applied to projects, or just in your arsenal of what you can choose to use for battery modeling. The one I've used here is called a minimized time of use. So it's really making sure that the battery is going to charge during peak production and discharge during those peak power rates in the evening. So really just cut down on how much you actually are pulling from the utility, minimize that exposure to the grid, and maximize your savings in the process. So I'm going to click save here. This is the online proposal of OpenSolar. I'm not sure what this little message here is for me, but we're going to wait here for the lifetime savings to load for me in a second. I've got my 4 different design options on the right. I've got my multiple Mosaic payment options here on the right-hand fold. So it's really interactive where the customer can choose different options, see those updates take place before your eyes in terms of monthly payments. Different quotation tables will reflect for the Mosaic loan products as well. And we'll give it a few seconds here. I think it's doing quite a bit of calculation here, but we're going to pay attention to just really a stark difference between lifetime savings on solar only and 2.0 and solar only and NEM 3.0. And we've got some other graphs and charts to point out as well. If you're new to OpenSolar and curious about how you can close deals and load in multiple proposal templates, that all can be done here. You can have multiple proposal templates, multiple contracts. It's all customizable, interactive, how you close deals, both financing and the contract acceptance all in one place. So makes it really easy if I want to close a deal at the proposal level. We can do DocuSign or through our native e-signing, tackle that right there. Okay, and then I moved quickly through this, but this is the cover page and about us message that you can customize as well for the proposal. This is what the customer would see when you first move over to the online proposal.
So as Chris was saying, we have the solar only, which is NEM 2.0 right now. So duplicated system, what you'll notice is monthly payments, estimated net savings are going to change. So that is, again, the huge urgency play that we have going in California. You can see as well, when you go down to these graphs here, that payment is also changing when you're selecting solar plus storage. So basically, on the electricity bill savings section, if we do solar only, we see new bill with 2.0, we're looking at $21. Then 3.0, then we're looking at, now that goes up to $157. So this is that exact urgency play that we have currently in the opportunity with NEM 2.0 transition to NEM 3.0 is homeowner, this is what you're going to be paying locked in for the next 20 years if you do this now versus if you wait a month, 2 months when NEM 3.0 starts existing. So when you click solar with storage, then of course everything else is changing. So you have multiple system options, you have multiple payment options here that you can select regarding whichever Mosaic payment option you're pitching on. So in the quotation table, you'll see that all laid out in great detail, depending on the system option, overall cost, and of course, the payment option for the Mosaic. When you click here to get pre-qualified, then up will pop the Mosaic application. Homeowner fills that out, clicks apply now, and within seconds, you will receive a decision. So again, this ability to just toggle through a NEM 3.0 system to share what the difference in payments could be and the difference in total savings is a great opportunity right now to be able to communicate the importance of getting in line and getting solar now with NEM 2.0. That's it for the demo. Super easy to select and to model NEM 3.0. And then, of course, to be able to show the differences between the two. Now, we'll bring it up on the screen and how to contact us. We're happy to go into much more depth with how our battery modeling will suit you and how we can set up those schemes. So please do contact OpenSolar and one of our specialists so that we can get that set up for you. Chris, you want to take back over and bring the screen up so we can get the resources here?
Yeah, should be up right here. Thank you, Mark, for helping me out there.
Yeah, of course. So our friends over at CALSA do tremendous work. So however you can support CALSA, please do. They're constantly fighting for us in the industry in California. You can create your free OpenSolar account at opensolar.com. Schedule a one-on-one demo. There's a link for that. Everyone will get a copy of this presentation. So if you want to dive in deeper, see how OpenSolar and Mosaic can support you with your design and proposal platform, please let us know. Want to learn more about Mosaic? Join mosaic.com/solar. And to become a Mosaic partner, opensolar.partner.join-mosaic. And then you can also reach out directly to the Mosaic team with learn more at joinmosaic.com. But we're really excited for the opportunity that exists. As in everything else, things happen first in California. So we do anticipate that there will be some transitions to the similar policy around the country. Be hopeful. We're gonna be a growing industry regardless of what occurs. If we look at what happened in Hawaii when they took away net metering, Hawaii is a extremely thriving market right now. So we anticipate much of the same, and we're here to help support and navigate the changes that are occurring. So again, thank you so much for your time. I'll leave it open for some questions here. Tony, feel free to schedule a call with us, and happy to go through that with you. Okay, and then as far as national energy installers, please reach out to Michael there, and we'll work with him and get that set up for you guys. Thank you. Any other questions? All right, great. Well, you will receive a copy of this deck. You will receive a copy of the recording. Again, please do reach out with any further questions. You can also email, it doesn't show here, but mosaic@OpenSolar to get the conversation started. And one of our specialists would be happy to help and get you guys going. Thank you so much. And oh, wait, looks like we got another question. Okay, thanks for the request, Jeff. We will look at that. I'm surprised to not see that already happening in our product roadmap. But Chris, you have an answer there? I see you're typing.
Yeah, we don't. It's one or the other right now, but we've had that request before, so I think we'll just have to re-echo that piece of feedback.
Great.
Thank you, Josh.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Good luck out there.
Thanks, guys.
Look forward to it.
Thank you, everyone.